Hello and a very warm welcome. My name's Ben Hocking.
My name's Harry Eads.
And my name is Samuel Say.
On Thursday, there was a press conference. Chase Carey, Jean Todt, Ross Brawn, all involved, announcing the F1 2021 regulations. It's been a long time coming. It's been in direct competition with Brexit to see which would happen first. And it finally, F1 2021 has won that battle. So well done. It's true. I mean, they were in direct competition there.
Get Chase Carey to deliver Brexit now.
Oh, wow.
Ross Brawn for Brexit.
So I really shouldn't have opened that can of worms. But so the F1 2021 regulations have been announced. Cost cap, new car, loads of different things, standardized parts. There's going to be an increase in those. Harry, what was your initial reaction to these regulation changes?
It gets a thumbs up from me.
That's hard earned as well.
It's very hard earned. Yeah, look, they've been teasing it for a little while now, and it seemed at one point they might not get over the line. And I think the mood in the paddock was one of surprise that Ferrari eventually agreed to it. So I don't know what they've either promised them, B, threatened them with, but Ferrari have agreed to it. So there's a cost cap for the first time in Formula One, and I think that's gone maybe slightly under the radar. That's a big deal for Formula One, for a sport that loves to spend a dollar. Having a cost cap, I mean, it's still $175 million, and it doesn't include like driver salaries and all of that jazz. But it's a cost cap nonetheless. It's a good start. So that's important. For me, the cars look, what I know it's a mock-up, but the cars are going to look slick, quite retro. It all looks good to me. The halo's built into the car more efficiently, so I like that. No fancy aero bits, like that as well. It's all getting a thumbs up from me. It just needs to work, okay? I can't give it 2 thumbs up until it works. Then it will get 2 thumbs up.
Wow, F1 will be on the edge of their seats, wondering if Harry will give them that second thumbs up that they desire. Sam, what was your initial reaction to these regulation changes? Thumbs up from you?
I will give it 2 thumbs up because I think they're bloody brilliant. And if someone comes along and makes it work properly, 100% in 2021, I will purposely hire people in to give more thumbs up just to show how thumbs uppy I am about these new regulations.
I was going to say, what else would you put up if it worked?
Inappropriate comment. Unnecessary.
I also, investment-wise, I feel like there are better avenues for us to go down, not going to lie.
Yeah, we haven't made a lot of money yet. Anyway, unlike us not making a lot of money, F1 can no longer spend a lot of money. Apart from your top 3 highest earning members of staff, marketing, drivers, everything else, though,
bonuses.
Oh, yeah. Apart from that, though, you're going to not spend a lot of money. But I love that because that means that realistically a team can actually spec it out and go, right, minimum, we need to hit that cost cap so we know we're spending the most we can on the car and the base team. We can enter Formula One. That means that people go, I can enter Formula One, I have a plan, I'm not going to go bankrupt in 2 years and Bernie Ecclestone will laugh at me from his many mansions. So I love that. Also, I love that it's been branded sexier cars. I am all for having one of these on my, not the actual car, again, don't have a lot of money, but a poster of the car. I love that the wheels and the side pods are going to be having LED panels. I love that you can see information about it. I love that it's going to look like Tron or something like that driving around F1. That is incredible. Bring it on. I love it. I love that the wings are so aerodynamically well made that the air is going to be pumped up into the air by an extra few feet so cars can drive straight under, only losing between 5 and 10% aerodynamic loss going around corners and not the classic 40 to 50% aerodynamic loss around most corners. Unlike Maggots, Beckett's, Castle, Stowe, I'm making up names now. Where basically you lose 60 to 70% aerodynamic performance if you're not able to somehow cut through that. So much needed to change in Formula One. And Brawn, Mr. Ross Brawn, the man that won that title, has once again turned up a good 10 years later and done it all again. It is fantastic. And I'm so excited for 2021 that I wish we could just skip over 2020 because these rules are brilliant. It's shorter weekends. So like Ben's always asked for, the practice is at start. Parc Ferme now starts in FP3. Brilliant. I love it. That's fantastic to see as well. Less tunnel time, more simulation time. We're going to get way more variance in races. Teams are going to be much closer together. LED panels on cars and less money, but closer competition means more teams. So many thumbs up. My toes are up. My thumbs are up. I love it. I love it. Bring it on.
I'm going to give it 1.5 thumbs up just to be awkward.
That is awkward.
I don't even know if that's allowed, but that's what I'm going to go ahead with. I really like everything. The cars look great. Really excited to see how they work. Of course, we're unsure as to where sort of the dirty air is, whether that is going to be completely solved or at least partially solved. I really hope it is. Everything coming out of testing for this car is that it will be solved, at least to some degree. So hopefully those testing, it's not a, it's not a false, it does end up coming to fruition, and there isn't anything hidden there that could be a spanner in the works. Yeah, I think the cost cap is something that I've been wanting for a long time in Formula One, a number of years now, and finally they've gone ahead and they've done it. 175 million, I think, is a fair amount. It's about what the midfield and lower end teams are spending at the moment. I think a lot of the teams are currently spending between 150 and 175. So I'm very happy to see sort of that involved. And Mercedes and Ferrari are going to have to find a way to scale back massively. They're going to have to scale back by something close to 50%. So yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how they cope with these regulation changes, but really happy that it's managed to get through, because there were times, like you said, Harry, that it was really unsure as to whether it would work. I don't understand why driver salaries aren't included. I don't really know why the top 3 members of a team aren't included. I mean, they're all part of a team, so why shouldn't they be included in this cost cap? But that is perhaps picking at it a bit. I think overall the fact that it's even there is good enough for me. I'm happy with how they've done the sort of restructuring of the weekend. I would have liked to have seen them get rid of a practice session, but I like at least that they've managed to get rid of one day. Whether those teams will manage to fill it with sponsorship stuff anyway, who knows? So it might not be much of a break for the drivers, but it's at least F1's doing their bit. I'm just really happy they managed to get this over the line. They've seen many occasions throughout the year where it wouldn't happen. Someone would come in and stop it. They've all agreed to it. I'm a bit dubious as to what Ferrari have agreed with the FIA to get this through, because I can't understand why they've accepted it from their perspective, but maybe they just want a change as well. And going back to the cost cap again, one of the best things is that because the top teams can outspend everyone else, that just eliminates, or at least puts on the back burner, some of the other qualities it takes to win races or to do well in races. Like, driver performance is kind of eradicated when there are a couple of teams doing so well in the sport. If we can even it out a bit more, then suddenly things like driver performance manages to push a team over the edge, which is what we want to see make the difference, not cost. So yeah, all 4 of these changes. Well done, F1. 1.5 thumbs up.
Ben has thrown down a crazy, almost gang sign with his thumbs then, for those that can't see. I think the reason why driver caps weren't involved in that is because I think there's every chance it would drive off a lot of the top racing names in the sport. I mean, Lewis Hamilton's wage alone would be about 35% of Mercedes' entire budget if they had to include his current wage now in that 175 million cost cap. So either he'd have to take a monumental cost cut, or we start losing some big names. So I'm okay with it. Maybe they need to put a separate cap on what drivers can be paid. I don't know. But for me, I can kind of understand it.
I think that's the point. Like, you have to have those sort of trade-offs. Do you pay someone like Lewis Hamilton that amount of money because we know he is so good and he might make the difference for the team? Or do you go with a slightly cheaper lineup and develop your car? I think these kind of trade-offs, this kind of decision-making, that's what I want to see.
Oh, it's like designing your own F1 team, isn't it? It's like we're making a game. I love it.
Motorsport Manager. Absolute plug.
I'd be really interested to see if they'd had this budget cap next year without the rules, what would happen, and then have the new rules as well in 2021. Just see how it would even up, if it would even up at all. But
that would be interesting, actually.
And that leads me on to the final question about this before we end the show. Do you think, and Chase Carey doesn't see this as a problem, but I'm not so sure, do you think some of the top teams, such as Ferrari, Mercedes, Red Bull, will go out next season, massively spend in preparation for 2021 so that they have an advantage before these regulations come in?
Oh, God, I had not even thought about that then. Why not, though? If you can, I would. But if Mercedes is debating leaving the sport, which we've heard many rumours of, and of course now we will have McLaren Mercedes once again in 2021 with Lando Norris being signed by Mercedes management, which is very interesting. Maybe we'll go out with a bang, but just enough of a bang to celebrate 7 consecutive years of Formula One, which there's every chance they win that 7th title. And we leave it there. I don't know. Ferrari definitely will make the most of it. We've never seen Ferrari not try and bend a rule to get the most out of it. Red Bull, they're super competitive. So if they can, then why not? But if I was one of them, I would too. I would definitely throw as much money in development for the 2021 rules before the 2021 rules. They almost need to set a date before you're allowed to invest in anything 2021 related. And in that way, that can't happen.
Yeah, this was kind of the discussion of whether the cost cap should come in the year before the regulations change, and you might avoid that. Harry, do you see it as a potential problem?
It could be a potential problem, but I watched the press conference when they were announcing it, and Ross or someone said that there is like a voluntary, it is voluntary obviously, but a voluntary cost cap thing. So they have to submit they don't have to submit, but they can submit their expenses by the end of the year or before the year, whatever, and it like goes through this new system to try out the system. So it'd be interesting to see how many teams do that. They don't have to because, as I said, it's voluntary. Yeah, they could. Top 3 teams could theoretically just go and spend a shed load of money, and that was brought up, I think, by one of the journalists in the conference. But I hope not. They might do, but I hope not.
I'd be interested to know who is, and I think it is still Racing Point, the lowest spending team currently in Formula One. But it can't be that far off now, considering obviously the huge investment they've now been given over the last 12 months. But I mean, a lot of teams have got to be spending a lot of money. Toro Rosso obviously have the Red Bull investment, Alfa, Renault, Williams and McLaren got so much private funding that I don't know. It's got to be slightly balanced out now, surely.
Yeah, I think these teams like Mercedes and Ferrari are going to have to scale back to a similar level to what the guys at Williams and Toro Rosso are currently spending. So it'd be really interesting to see how they scale down, because that is not going to be an easy process. They're going to have to make cuts and they're going to have to work their way around it, whilst obviously preserving as much of the DNA as they can that has got them so many titles in a row. I'm sure we'll talk plenty more about the F1 2021 regulations. Of course, we've got another year of speculation on that. So we will return to that topic. Sam, for this episode, do you want to get us out of here?
I think I shall. Just a quick pointer out for all those who are around. We are so close to 1,000 subscribers. We have got some silly footage prepared to go that we'd love to see, but we're also willing to do another video to commemorate that. If you've got some questions or some ideas that you'd like to throw at us, then please get in the comments. Let us know what you'd like to talk about or what you'd like us to do, and we'd love to give it a shot. What are your thoughts on what we've discussed today? We'd love to know that as well. Please get down in the discussions, have a conversation. Remember, always be nice and civil, and we'll join you down there. Leave a like. If you haven't already, please subscribe as well. It'll be a massive help. In the meantime, I've been Samuel Sage.
I've been Ben Hocking.
And I've been Harry Eads.
And remember, keep breaking late.